Welcome everybody to It Tastes Different Gaming Talking Abouts. We're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to talk about Capcom. Capcom is nailing it this year so far. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we played, hopefully with no spoilers, and what's coming out that we might be kind of excited for. We decided to talk about it because me and Nick have been playing through some 26 Capcom releases that have just been bangers. So let's jump into it. And tonight's episode is sponsored by RFK Jr.'s Roadside Raccoon Wainer recipe book. Get yours today. All right. So Nick has played through Pragmata all the way. I am still finishing up on it. I'm taking my sweet time because I love the game. Absolutely love this game. We both finished Resident Evil Requiem. Both love that game. And Nick just finished Monster Hunter Stories 3 and loves that game. I've got the demo downloaded. I'm going to check it out. But so far, Capcom is killing it. And that's very exciting because they have a great backlog, but they try new things, and they're not all bangers, but they do have some that just pop out and just nail it. And Pragmata is one of those. So we were both really hyped for this one, and Nick loves it. I'm loving it. I'm trying not to give out any spoilers, and Nick better not spoil anything either. I will kick him in the raccoon wiener. But let's talk about the three that we do know about, which you've played all three. I've only played two. So what do you think has gotten this streak? Really, I mean, Resident Evil 9 is a blend of old and new. Pragmata is it, and the way we talked about it was, there's just a lot to love about it. There's a lot of feelings that remind you of other games, and I liked how you kind of described it too. So tell me about Resident Evil 9. Why do you? I think this kicked off Capcom's year of just kick ass.
Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil is always highly sought after titles, and Resident Evil 9 was really good. Like, it brought a lot of fan service as far as like bringing back the old locations in Raccoon City and stuff. It was revisiting Raccoon City, which is a lot of us wanted, from a Resident Evil game. Leon's in it, of course, which is always a fan favorite. And then Grace, which is the new character, is a great character. I don't have any problems with Grace. So I think overall the story, I like I think the story, which is always good Resident Evil wise, right? Most of the time. I like the different aspects of Grace and Leon, how they play different. I like how they did that. And then you swap between the two, and they do have different play styles, right? Grace is more like survival horror and puzzles and things like that. Whereas Leon is more like just action, John Wick style running gun type of stuff, right? Which is fun. So you get a mixture of both. And ultimately Requiem was just really good. Like, I was hoping, Capcom usually doesn't disappoint when it comes to Resident Evil. And I don't think with Resident Evil 9, I don't think they disappointed. I wasn't disappointed with it. I really enjoyed that game a lot. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I started playing through it again, after I beat it, but then of course moved on to other things. But I mean, I'll eventually go back and play it again. I mean, how many times have we played Resident Evil games, right?
Oh yeah.
Tons of times. So
the only critique I really had about Requiem was I just wish they would have paced it a little bit more balanced between Leon and Grace. Because it did feel like you hit a big.
It did do that at the beginning, right? Yeah. And then it was like, now you play Leon, and it's like, And now you play Leon, and now you play Leon, and now you play.
Exactly.
It's like, what happened to Grace? Did she just disappear? But then you eventually go back to her, right? But I mean, like, there is that big section where you don't play Grace, right?
Yeah. And that's not
a bad thing necessarily.
It's not a complaint at all. It's just it's more of a personal view.
I mean, they could put it in like DLC where they like, what was Grace during this time? You know, something like that.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that would be great. But now, the next game that came out from Capcom has been Pragmata. And I played the demo. I think you played the demo as well. The demo left me a little unsure, but the demo didn't wow me, and I don't know why. It could have just been my mood for that day. I don't know.
Sure.
But the control system threw Pat completely out. He didn't like the third person shooter / puzzle quest with
I think it was the hacking system with the shooting and stuff. Yeah.
But it really doesn't take long to get used to, because you're never so far I've never felt like I was overwhelmed between what's happening here and what's happening with my hacking. I never felt overwhelmed. And and as you play, it gets easier. Then they throw in a few more options to even make it easier than that. So the more you play, the better you're going to get at it. But the story of this game just captured me. The characters just captured me. Hell, the enemies are really cool too. Me and Nick were talking before we started. I felt the game, and slight spoiler if you haven't played, but I won't give out too much. The character dynamics really made me have Titanfall 2 feels. And if you've played it, hopefully you understand what I mean. But there's segments of the game that remind you of other games, and certain characters reminded you of other characters from other games. But I like the way Nick described it, and he's absolutely right. Tell him how it made you, what made you think of it, what made you think about it.
Oh, I was just saying, like, it kind of reminds me of the way this Pragmata plays and kind of reminds me of the old Capcom games, like in the old kind of games back on the 360 and the PlayStation 3, you know, those types of action adventure games that we used to get, that were just like straightforward, had some open world, not really open world, but like kind of wide area locations. Kind of reminds me of like, what's that game? Odyssey to the West or whatever. That was back on the 360. That game was fantastic. I think that was that Naughty Dog that made that one?
No, Odyssey to the West. That was, God, they always made games that are little
Enslaved.
Out there.
That's what Enslaved Odyssey to the West. That was Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
Ninja Theory made that. Remember that. And that game is like, you know, and we played that one. Like, I think I picked it up because it was super cheap. That's right. They had it listed wrong, and it was like $5 at a game store we have here, and it was like super cheap. And so I picked up 2 copies, one for me and one for Shane, and we only picked it up because it was cheap. And then we both played it, and we're like, "This game is awesome!" It was a really good game,
absolute banger of a game. You're absolutely right. Though there's a lot. I feel a lot of that because it's the world of that game is familiar and different all at the same time. But it's the characters what really keeps a game moving.
Yeah,
and this game just. I mean, it really gets you. I mean, the characters really get you. Obviously, if you haven't seen a trailer or a spoiler or the cover art, there's the big guy and then there's the little girl.
Yeah.
You fall in love with both characters. You just adore the little girl after the first 20 minutes of gameplay, and you just want to take care of her, and you want to see what she says next or how she reacts next to things. And it just really carries the game. And I just love that they took a chance to make something new and different, and it worked. And it doesn't just work; it works great.
Yeah.
Now, Capcom's not afraid though to try new
That's
things.
one thing I love about Capcom is they're not afraid to take a chance on something, right? I mean, we even saw that last year with, I think, a game that I think it was in my top during the game of the year thing. I think it was in my top games of that year, which was Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess.
Oh, yes.
That game was that was a Capcom game that came out in June 5th of 2025. And that game was great. Like, it was different. It wasn't like the usual games that we typically get. You know, it was completely different than the usual stuff we get day in and day out from gaming and everything like that. It was one of those things where Capcom took a chance again and made something just unique. And I loved that game. That game, and Pat did too. Pat really liked that game as well. And it was like one of those games that was like, I don't know, that game was just really good. And it's like when Capcom takes a chance, like Pragmata is one of those things. They like, not always, but I mean, like Capcom really, they usually tend to knock it out of the park. And it's like, that's what I wish more companies would do. Like, take a chance with something new and just off the wall. Like, it's not always going to pan out, but when it does, you're going to create this really awesome experience that people want more of, right? So, I would expect they're going to have a Pragmata 2 or some sort of like offshoot or sequel or something in that world, right? Because I think this did really well for them, and I'm hoping that Kunitsugami, I'm hoping they make another one of those because I really enjoyed that game. Like, I did everything in that game. That game was so good.
Yeah. Not everything they do throughout is a banger. Exoprimal was an attempt. Was an attempt of the live service market, and it just didn't work. And I think they chose the dinosaur path because they know we want Dino Crisis back. Especially with everything they've been able to do with Resident Evil series, I would kill for a new Dino Crisis. But they're for some reason are not doing it, and that's they don't like money, they won't make it. But if they like money, they'll make the damn remaster or remake or something. And then the next game I have not played yet, but Monster Hunter Stories 3. Now, I have nothing to say about it except for I watched the trailers. It looks really cool, looks interesting. And I know nothing about the first two. So, Nick, you have to take this one away.
I don't know much about the first two either. I own them, but I've only played them a little bit. Both of them just a little bit. And while they're RPGs, they're set in the Monster Hunter world. And while I enjoyed the first two, as far as the little bit I played, like both of those games didn't really sink their teeth into me. But this one, like when I started it and started playing it, like it sunk its teeth into me real quick. And I read someone's comment online about this game, and they're like, the first one was good, and the second one they improved, and then the third one is like, that's when they hit the nail on the head, right? That's when they got it. They got it on the third one. Like the first one was like, we're testing these things out. Second one, we're testing these things out. Third one is like, nope, you got it on the third one. That was it. Like you everything came together and you finally, got everything right. So, but yeah, I mean, this game is really good. It's a turn-based RPG. So your classic turn-based type of combat, but it's a little bit different. If you like the Monster Hunter type of gameplay where not necessarily, I think Wilds kind of got, one thing that we talked about with Wilds is it kind of pulled back on the whole. Now they have done a lot of updates to Wilds, so I don't know if this has changed, but at the beginning, like, in World, you really had to, in previous Monster Hunters, you really had to go out there with certain weapon sets, and certain armor sets to go against different monsters. And I feel like in Wilds, you could just equip the best thing and go out and kill just about anything, right? In World, you couldn't. Like, you had to wear the particular armor sets and use the particular weapons that coincided with what that particular monster did. Monster Hunter Stories 3 brings that back into the fold, right? You do have to wear the armor sets and use the weapon types that correspond with dealing enough damage to the monsters that you're going to be fighting and stuff like that. There's a crap ton of weapons in this game. There's a crap ton of armors. There's a crap ton of monsters. The monsters are part of your group, so you can swap them in and out. They have different abilities. You can change up their abilities by like transferring genes of other monsters into their, and mix and matching and stuff like that. And you can create your own monster group of different Monster Hunter monsters. And they have like this whole habitat restoration like mini game in there where you're like rebuilding the habitats of the monsters and stuff like that, which can cause other things to happen where those monsters may mutate, and then all of a sudden, instead of just regular old green Rathaloses, now you have pink Rathaloses or some different kinds, right? And so, and the different monsters you've seen in Monster Hunters, right? The pink Rathalos has always been there, but like you don't see that normally in the game. In order to get that in the game, you have to find eggs, Rathalos eggs, hatch the Rathalos, and hope that particular egg you found has a mutation, and then set that monster free in order for it to mutate into potentially a pink Rathalos. They also have different types of whatever type monsters and stuff like that. You can use them in the overworld as well. So when you're out in the field, you can use your Rathalos to fly, or you kind of glide. You can't actually free fly, but you can glide. But then they have, like, if you're in the water, you have to use a swimming monster, so that way they can swim quick in the water. You have monsters that dig. So there's certain areas that you can dig into the ground, and you have to switch over to those ones that it can climb cliff sides, and you have to switch over into ride that particular monster so you can get up to higher cliff sides. If you want to get up to a certain one like the Tobagashis or whatever, he can climb up the side of cliff sides. So you have to switch over to him and ride him up the cliff side and stuff like that. So there's so much variation. This game is super long. It's an RPG, so expect like I think by the time I beat it, it was about 50 hours. For completionists, you're looking at probably close to 100. There's so many secrets and like side stuff. There's side quests at the yin yang. There are secrets that are hidden everywhere. S-class monsters, elder dragons, crap like that. I mean, there's just so much in this game. Just about every line in the game is voice acted. Probably about 90, I would say about 95% of the game is voice acted. So most of it's, the only thing that's not is like the side quests and stuff. They're not voice acted, but I mean, like, they're just side quests, right? All the main stuff that you need to know is all voice acted. It's all cutscene voice acted and things like that. So you get to watch the story. There's companions that you get to learn more about in the game and stuff like that. And then you get the overarching story as well as these side stories with your companions and the different things of this aspect. So it's a really good game. I've ultimately put it down there. Like, again, Capcom this year so far, I think they've knocked it out of the park so far, with all three of these games, right? And then we also have Onimusha to look forward to this year.
And I was just about to say, so that I see, just sort of quick Google here, we still have Onimusha Way of the Sword coming. Mm-hmm. Sometime in 2026. I don't think we have an exact date yet. Then we've got Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection coming out.
Yeah, that one's already out.
Did it already come out?
Yeah, it did come out.
Yeah. So did you pick that up?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and
it's the Star Force games that were back on the 3DS. It's just a re-release of those.
But it's just a re-release. I thought they polished.
No, it's not a new one. I mean, they did polishing and stuff like that.
Okay,
but
that's what I wanted.
It's one of those like it's the when Konami did like the re-release of like, well, I mean, Capcom's done that too with their Mega Man Legacy Collection and stuff like that. It's basically that.
Oh, okay. But as long as they don't screw up the re-release.
No, it plays really well.
Sometimes they forget to add a button or something.
Yeah, no, it plays really well.
But Onimusha is the one I'm truly looking for. I love Mega Man, but Onimusha is the one I'm truly looking forward to because those games were just, oh my God. It was like Resident Evil, but you're a samurai when it first released. It had the pre-rendered backgrounds, and you'd have this eye just following you on the wall and watching you, and you just had all this coolness. Now with today's tech and everything, and the trailers, everything I've seen on it, I'm just super pumped for it. Now the only thing that I am concerned about is, has it been too long? I mean, has that fan base from my generation moved past it? I have not. I'm old and I still play a lot of old games. But if they can do with it like they have with like Resident Evil, modernize it, make it feel fresh almost every time, I'm pumped for it. And I just love the series so much, and I hope it's just not the nostalgia that's keeping me wanting it so much. But I'm really excited, and the different types of games that they're putting out this year is great. I mean, it really hits. So much of the fan base. They are supposed to be doing Resident Evil Requiem DLC here fairly soon, if I remember correctly. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm really happy with what Capcom has done this year. I mean, I would say it's been a while since I've had a great Capcom year. So I hope they can continue it.
Yeah, Capcom usually makes really good stuff.
Usually.
But yeah, so far this year they've come out with some bangers. So,
but do they normally come out with this many games in a year though?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the release schedule and see.
Because I just don't remember this many of their games. And, plus they're still putting out DLC and characters and everything for Street Fighter. And, I mean, they're just chugging along, which is fantastic. But, and
I mean,
there's still
keeping
rumors,
on, right?
There's still rumors of Code Veronica remake coming out this year, which I'm more than happy to have, especially if they do a great job like they do with 2 and 3 remakes. So, but will they continue? Will they take that home run and then go for the grand slam?
Yeah, I mean, and I hope ultimately, I'll end with saying that I hope that they continue to take these chances with games like Pragmata and stuff like that. Continue taking these chances, and for other developers out there, big developers like Capcom, start doing the same thing. Start taking chances with stuff that you're not comfortable with or is not in your bubble, right? I mean, Capcom could do the Ubisoft route and just release Resident Evil every year or something like that, right? But they don't, right? They release. They don't just sit there and release their great franchises every year. They throw out a curveball, where they throw out Pragmata or the Katsugami game, or they decide to. I mean, what was it? Year before last, I think they remade Dead Rising, right? They did the whole Dead Rising remake, which was
wasn't
great.
It just last year?
I think it was 2024. I thought I saw.
I still hadn't played it.
Yeah, 2024 came out in September 2024.
Damn, it didn't feel like it's flown by that.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, but hopefully Capcom keeps it up.
I mean, that's Red Dead Rising was original in its own, but I mean, just saying, like the remake of the original was really good remake. So, and
it's been so long. I think it was a good time for a remake, especially with today's technology, because what they did with it when it released was pretty impressive. So, with today's technology and the way they cleaned it up, I haven't played it yet, but you finished it, didn't you not? Yeah. So it's still worth playing. Capcom just needs to keep it up. I want to see Capcom continue to mix it up as well. New things, like the Monster Hunter stories. They took something, tried and true, and they did something different with it, and apparently it's working for them. So just keep playing around with it. I mean, they're not all going to be exoprimal, but you know, but they're going to slip up. They will make those mistakes. But anyways, let us know what you think. Have you played Pragmata? Have you played Resident Evil Requiem? Have you played Monster Hunter, Mega Man? Are you excited for the Onimusha coming out? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know if you think this is one of Capcom's best years, because I do believe, I feel it's one of their best years. But let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, notifications, all those good buttons keep you up to date with what we like to talk about, video games. See ya.